Okay, I chose Story Jumper for my website to kind of learn more about and something to use in my classroom. And it is very exciting, and I'm very excited to use it when we go back to school. So, what Story Jumper is, this is kind of the interface or the opening screen when you go to the website. The website is storyjumper.com. Now, I will say before I go any further that some of the features are only supported by Google Chrome, so it's a good idea to open this in Google Chrome. I learned that the hard way. So anyways, this is called Story Jumper, and what it is a website, an interactive website where students can use props and backgrounds, and they can type words, and they can create their own book from start to finish. There's several different ways they can do it, but what got me really excited about this as a teacher is for my students, it's very hard to get them to connect with authors. They see authors as someone who writes books and they're fun to read, but they don't see themselves as actually becoming an author. And they don't see themselves when we do writing workshop that they are an author in what they're writing. And so I think this is really going to help me make the connection that they can be an author, they can publish books just like anyone else. So this actually, after they create their book, you can publish it into a hard copy, into a digital file. But if you don't want to, if you want to just use it as a resource, it's completely free to sign up. You just go to the sign up page over here where it says sign up, and you create your own page. So I will just kind of go through really quickly the different features that it has and the different things you can do with it. This is for all ages, pre-K up to whatever age. Even teachers can create books for their classroom, maybe on character education. Now, I will say the younger the student, the more involvement is going to be needed from the teacher or from the parent end of it. The other upper grades, like the 5th and the 6th graders, are going to be able to do this on their own. But because of the technology skills required to create these books with your kindergarten students and your pre-K students, you're really going to have to be there to help them. So sometimes creating a group book with the younger children might be a little better, and I'll explain more what I mean about that as we log in. So basically, you create your login, you go over here to the right side of the screen, and you log in, and it brings you to this screen with your login information. And I've already created my account, so we'll just log into my account so I can show you a few features. First off, I guess I'll show you how you would just create a blank book. So if you come over here, after you've set up your class, you can set up your class with all your students in it. And what it does, I'll show you what it does when you set up your class. Let's go over here to people. I just clicked on my class, and then I'm going to go over here to people. It will show you the teacher, which is myself, and then it will show you your students' names, and it will give you an option to add more students as you wish. I added my children to this one because I didn't want to give out any school information. But what it will do is it will add their name, it will give them their unique user name, and then you'll have a class password so they can work on these at school. They can also work on at home as a parent, or with a parent, excuse me. Let's see, let's go back over here. We're going to go to books, and this is where you create, and it will show you the different things you can do. You can create from a template. You can create as a group, which is what my son and I did. We created a book over here as a group, and then if you scroll all the way down, it shows you the books your students have created. So my son Cooper, he created a book about if cats or dogs are the best pets. He said cats are the best, so he created a book. All right, now if we go back up to the top of our screen to books, if you just want your student to create a book completely from scratch, you're going to go to this Create Template Book, and then it's going to bring up a blank screen or some templates that they've already made. We're going to go with the blank one just so I can show you the different things that you can do with this program. So if you look down here, it shows you all the different pages you can work on. So we're going to click down here on the front cover because that's where we want to start. And you go over here, you can add your title. I'm going to go with my son's theme, cats are the best. And you type that in. You can change, you can see up here, you can change your font, the way it looks. You can change the size, the color, bold or italics. You can make this text box bigger by clicking and dragging these red squares. I don't know if you can see this little hand right here, but you can click on the hand and you can move your title around. So if you want your title to be in the center of the book, you can do that. And then you can click down here and you can add the author's name. So I'm going to put my son's name, Cooper Phillips, because this is what the student would do as they're doing it. Now, what's really neat about this is they can add their voice to it and the book will read back to them. So they can click on this add voice function and then they're going to click record. It's going to count down. Cats Are the Best by Cooper Phillips. Then they'll push the stop recording and then they can preview it. Cats Are the Best by Cooper Phillips. Okay, and then they can save it. And once they save it, that is on there. They can go back and edit it if they decide that they didn't like what it said. Now, you can, if you look over here at this side of the screen, you can put props in there. You can change this background scene. You can add your own photos. So let's just say we want to change, we don't want a blue background, we want to change our scene. And we want it to be, let's say this field of flowers right here. You're going to click on it and it's going to change your front cover of your book. Now, if you want your own picture, if you've taken a picture or you found one on the internet that you want to use, you can go down here to photos and click on that. And these are all photos that I have found on the internet. And you can click any of those or you can click add photos and it will let you browse your computer. And then you'll just bring them over to here so you can add them to your book. So let's close that out. So that's another neat option is you can, there's just the possibilities are really endless with this. Okay, now let's say we wanted to add props to our scene. We're talking about cats, so let's say we wanted to add a cat to our front cover. We can either type cat here. I've already got one pulled up, so I'm not going to type it. Or whatever you're looking for, you can search in here. You can design your own character. Or again, you can go down here to photos and you can put your own in there. All right, so we're going to add a cat just by clicking on that cat. It comes up here in the top corner. Now, we can do the same thing as the text. We can click him and we can drag him around wherever we want him. Let's put him under the title and we can make him bigger by dragging these red boxes. All right, so once we feel like we've got our title page finished, we can come down here and we can click on this second page, which is our dedication page. We type in our dedication. Then our third page would be the first part of our text, and so on. We can add our voice to each page. And let me go back to this dedication page. If you decide to have your book published, this is the little code right here that you would scan, and once you scan it, it would read the book back to you as you're flipping through the pages. So there's so many different possibilities. So let's go back to the home page. Gotta save and exit. We can go back to our home page. Well, let's stay right here for a minute. If we want to do, the way I'll use this with my kindergartners is the All About Me book. So I can create a template that's already ready for the students. I can share it with the students by clicking here and it goes to their home page and then they can click on this book. When they click on it, it will pull this page up and they can go over here to edit. And when they click on it, they can fill in their own information. And the reason I chose this is because in kindergarten we always do an All About Me book at the beginning, so I thought this would be a nice little digital form that they can do at home. And they just basically type in their information, so their name, and then they go down here and type in their birthday. They can still add in over here more text boxes, props, scenes, more photos from home. I always ask for a family photo, so here they can upload their own family photo and put it into the book. This is going to be really neat for my students to see it in published form instead of just looking at it on paper. Just adds a different element to your instruction. So I'm going to go back here to the home screen and show you, you always have to save and exit, I always forget that step, the prices. So it's completely free to sign up for this website, but if you do decide to publish your book, you can get a hardcover for $24.99. That includes the voice link. You can get the paperback for $12.99, including the voice link. You can download or print your book as an ebook version for $2.99, or you can just get the audio version for $2.99. Now, if you don't want to do any of those versions, you can still go to your home button and go to your class and go to your books, and you can still view your books. So I'll show you a product my son and I made together. This is another thing that I will do with this. One of our standards in kindergarten is retelling familiar stories. So what I did is I created a template. I went ahead and put all the background scenes and the props in there, and all I left out were the words. And then we went back in, me and my kindergarten son, and we wrote it together. And I had him retell me the story of the Three Little Pigs. This helped me really assess, can he retell stories? Can he get the characters and the settings? Can he notice if I missed something in the story? So it's a good assessment tool as well. So I'm going to go right here, and we can click on this arrow button, and we can view it without even buying it. It turns the pages. It shows you exactly what you wrote. And then if you want to listen to it, you can push this play button.
We dedicate this book to our friends and family. We love you.
And you'll see with kindergartners, they can't always read the words, but you can help them so that they can really hear their voice in those stories.
Once upon a time, there were 3 little pigs. One little pig made his house out of straw.
Now on these 2 pages, he actually read it back. I helped him with the words that were too hard, but this really helps him connect those skills he's learning, those reading skills that he's learning. So you can click through each page, but you get the idea. We went through, we added the text in, and we added his voice to really make that story come alive. And now I know that he can retell the story of the 3 little pigs. So we'll go back here to home. I was a little curious if my kindergarten would be able to do this program because it takes so much technological skills that I wasn't sure that he had. So I was like, let's just see what he does. So I kind of just showed him how to do it. Let's see, let's go over here to books. And he created a book, and I gave him a prompt, which we do a lot in kindergarten, and I said, okay, your prompt is, are cats or dogs the best pets? And he chose cats. He said cats are the best pets. Now, you'll notice when I click on this book, it is kindergarten spelling, because in kindergarten we do not try to correct their spelling because we're trying to get them to see that each letter that they write or they type makes a sound, and that sound is connected to a letter. So they spell their own way until they get a little bit older, and then we start telling them more as they learn more of the rules, the phonics rules, then they start correcting that spelling on their own. So he said Cats Are the Best by Cooper. See, he didn't spell it right, but he sounded it out, B-I. And then this was very simple. He did his dedication page. He dedicated it to his Nana and Poppy. And then he wrote very simple sentences. Cats are the best because they are not mean, and I love cats. And that was the end of his book, because at the kindergarten level, again, their attention span and the skills that they have are very limited. So it may just be a 2 or 3 page book, but it shows them what their print looks like in an actual book form. So again, the possibilities are endless. You can use this for a number of things, for character education. You can use it for teachers who teach the older grades, just showing them how their writing looks when they put it in a book and how to form thoughts that connect from one page to the next and that flow. So again, you can read my introduction and my reflective review about how it's helpful to teachers and how they've used it. There's I'll add to the wiki page a little graph that shows you one middle school class and how their growth went from the beginning of the year to the end of the year on their reading and writing skills. But this is just a tremendous helpful app that will help your reading, your writing skills in your classroom from any age.